Something has flipped in our culture, and it's vital that you understand this. Pay attention. I had a 2-show swing this weekend. Friday night, active adult community in Arizona. Saturday night, university on the East Coast. Active adult community, 2,000 residents. A university, 20,000 residents living on campus. Which one would you think would be the better show to work? For the past 20 years, I've been working almost exclusively in the college market. The reason I'm making this video is to get you to understand the market is shifting. It's important, if you're really serious about making your living as a professional entertainment hypnotist, that you're keeping your eye on all of the markets and you're watching how they grow, develop, shrink, change over the years so that you can have a business plan or strategy that takes these things into account. And I am telling you right now, the college market is shrinking and contracting. The active adult community is booming. And not just in terms of economics or making more money metrics, the actual work itself is changing. And this is what really the light bulb went off for me this weekend. So I go to this active adult community. I had never done a show for an active adult community before. I did corporate events where there were mostly middle-aged people there and stuff, but I had never actually gone to an active adult community and did a show. I go in, and right away, I'm like, oh, this is not what I thought. This is not, I didn't think it was a retirement home, but you sort of carry a little bit of that vibe with you. At least I have. Then I get there and I'm like, oh, this is nowhere near a retirement type thing. These are people 55 and older who have money, who want to live actively, who still have plenty of living to do. And that includes entertainment. They pay really good money for high quality homes that have been built in this resort atmosphere community. Over 1,200 homes in this place so far, 2 golf courses, and their own restaurant, white tablecloth restaurant on site, like everything, right? There's serious money at play here. And I go in and they put me in a function room that is appointed every bit as well as any college function room I've ever been in. Big, beautiful projection screen, ceiling mounted projector, big high quality projector, good sound system, wireless mics, everything. We're not talking about wheeling into the Shady Oaks retirement Glen like we've all probably thought about for decades. That whole game is changing. These people have money and they want to live well for as long as they can. And so they're having cocktails and it's like a night at the comedy club to them. Every Friday night they have something. And so I roll in and I have this show. 68 people come to the show. Okay. Now, again, when I used to do at my height, when I was doing 85 college shows a year, I would have college shows where I would have 300, 400, 500, sometimes as many as 1,000, or even once I had 1,500 people in the audience, but that has gone away. And if you talk to anyone else, talk to Salish Jawan, talk to Chris Jones, all my friends in the business, they still have a night here and there where they do 300, 400, maybe 500. Usually that's orientation only now. You go during the school year to a college campus, and this is Saturday night. So I finished my active adult community. Let me get back on track. And I go to my Saturday night show on the East Coast. 20,000 students live on campus. 25 came to the show. This is not an off night anymore. This is the way it is in the college market. I have consistently been having 20, 30, 40. A really good night is over 50 come to my shows. And it's not just me. I've done other videos where I've talked about this. It's all live entertainment. Comedians, poets, jugglers, magicians, everybody's getting lower attendance. Once in a while, if there's a person with a really well-cultivated online presence, if they're internet famous, they can pull 200, 300. But most of us who don't have that in the broader mainstream market, this is what you're looking at. 40, 50 is a good solid night. A bad night is 25. A really good night is 100. The nights of, I used to routinely come in 200, 300, 400 at shows. For years, it's gone at colleges. And again, if you don't want to believe me on that, that's fine. Go talk to the other guys and you'll talk to the agents. It's very consistent. It is not a blip. It is the way things are now. So think about what happened is having these shows back to back in 2 nights. It was such an interesting moment of clarity that was created because of how the proximity, right? Like Friday night, I go to a place that has maybe 2,000 people living there, and they put 68 in the room. Then the next night I go where there's 10 times that much, 20,000 students living on campus, and they only put 25 in the room. There are generational differences around how entertainment is being consumed. It's not that one is right and what is wrong. I have no interest in judging them. I'm saying if you want to be serious about being in the business, you should be looking at them, observing them, noting them, and making appropriate adjustments. So am I going to just abandon the college market and go full tilt into the active adult market? No. But for the past 20 years, I never even thought of active adult communities as a really viable revenue stream. That has changed now. Going and seeing one firsthand, and I'll tell you, not just from a marketing and sales perspective, from a working perspective, they were happy to be there. They were energetic. They wanted to have fun. They liked the idea of being involved in a show. The college students are lovely human beings, but they kind of just sit there and go, eh. Like they're much more internalized in their consumption. It makes what we do much harder, in my opinion. The energy doesn't get dispersed into the room like it used to. And so the people on stage don't pick that energy up and they get quieter. It's a lot more, it's more work than it's ever been. And that's okay. It's my job to work and make good things happen. But I'm just noticing this stuff. It's important to notice. So I think the takeaway I'm trying to get here is I'm getting more and more clarity about how I need to get out of old habits and target new groups and get into new client streams. And again, I'm happy to share these things. I don't think it has to be kept secret because at the end of the day, you've got to do the work. And a lot of people won't do the work. So I'm just going to share it with them and say, if you are serious about having a career as an entertainment hypnotist, you really should be doing some serious studying, observation, note-taking of what's going on with these markets, who's where on all these factors. The lazy mental work is just to look and say, well, look at these guys. They're making all kinds of money in this market, so I should go there too. But you get like my friend Salish, he's the best. He's been there for 25 years. You can't look at him at 25 years into his career and how long he's been in the college market and think you're just going to jump into the college market and reap all the success that he is experiencing now. He's built it. So what you really need to do for yourself is look at how do you have a strategy and a plan for entering a market and building that level of success over time. And what I'm saying right now is I'm telling you in my best effort to be helpful, I don't think the college market is the place to do that. It will be a huge uphill battle. And I'm not saying you can't do it. You can do it. They're still hiring, but it will be a really big uphill battle. I'm not sure that is the battle that's worth waging. There might be easier paths. And especially when you look at something like active adult communities, I don't have a lot of buddies in the business who are running around going, yeah, I've been doing lots of shows. That seems like right now it's a largely untapped area. I've been saying for years, weddings. I don't understand why more hypnotists aren't doing weddings. And I think the short answer is because, again, people tend to be mentally lazy and they go, well, if no one else is doing it, there must be a reason, so I'm not going to try to do it either. I'm not sure that's an accurate way to look at it. I look at it and go, there's an entire 2 million weddings a year. There's a huge open market that nobody in American hypnotism seems to be tapping into. Well, I might make that change pretty soon because I just don't see why would you compete against 30, 40 other hypnotists in a market when there's a market sitting there that only has 1 or 2 in it. It just makes no sense to me. I don't know. Leave some comments. Let's keep the conversation going. This is the kind of stuff that I talk about in my Project 20 group, working on it all the time. If you're really serious about advancing your career, you might want to reach out to me and talk about Project 20. But other than that, just take this for what it's worth and good luck to you. Thanks for listening.